All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my mountain of shame. Today, we have a game called Dagon, which is apparently made by H.P. Lovecraft. It is also apparently a free game. It's base game anyway. And the only reason I have it on my list is because the Ukraine bundle gave away a DLC for free, and naturally, when I can get something, I claim it. So here we are, Dagon by H.P. Lovecraft. Now, I, I naturally need some help with this. So hi, Para.
Sup?
I'm sure this will go fine. I'm sure this will go fine.
Oh, you're fine. I'm right here.
Yes, but are you here to help or here to? No. Dagon is a faithful, interactive adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's work, focused on story and atmosphere. You will not find difficult choices, action sequences, or inventory management here. Your movement is limited to progressing through locations along the fountain of
I
plot.
am writing this under an appreciable mental strain, since by tonight I shall be no more.
Oh, someone's been using something. Right, this whole place looks pretty shitty, but okay. So during the game, you encounter interactive elements. Some of them allow you to continue your journey. Others will reveal interesting facts about the original short story, the historical background of the author. Some trivia is hidden. In order to find these secrets, focus your eyes and look for the Elder sign. Okay, well, if we're lucky, we can spend so long looking at stuff that we won't need to continue the story. Aha, like that. Oh no,
Oh, please. H.P.
I don't want.
Lovecraft is amazing.
I mean, maybe, but like, I don't necessarily want to read all that on as a video. So
Do you want me to read it?
no, it's fine. It's fine. Let's explore, and hopefully, not be scared.
Penniless, and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable, I can bear the torture no longer, and shall cast myself from this garret window into the squalid street below.
I know it looks pretty closed.
Do not think from my slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate. When you have read these hastily scrawled pages, you may guess, though never fully realize, why it is that I must have forgetfulness or death.
I wonder if this is literally just a story.
Well, let's see.
Okay, well, I don't need to learn about morphine. I think I know what morphine is. I think I've only probably had it once in my life.
It was in one of the most open and least frequented parts of the broad Pacific that the packet
Maybe twice.
which I was supercargo fell a victim to the German sea raider.
I think I was getting my appendix out or something. All right.
The Great War was then at its very beginning, and the ocean forces of the Hun had not completely sunk to their later degradation,
I see why this might work in VR.
so that our vessel was made
This also has a VR mode as well.
whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness
I didn't decide to do it.
due us as naval prisoners.
I'm guessing the next line is so liberal indeed with the discipline of our captors.
Are you? Have you found the story that it's based off?
So liberal indeed.
Ah, okay.
I have the book.
Okay, so you know if there's anything scary coming up.
With water and
I've never read Dagon, though. H.P. Lovecraft is a very hard read.
Well, apparently this game's reading it for us. I was kind of expecting we would have to read it. That's why, well, one of the reasons I brought you along. And because I'm expecting something horrible to happen.
adrift and free, I had but little idea of my surroundings.
Cthulhu. Come on, show me Cthulhu.
I could only guess vaguely by the
Why-
southern stars that I was somewhat south of the equator.
Okay, I feel... Is he going the right way? Is that how boats are meant to go? I thought boats were meant to go that way.
I have no idea.
I thought that was the front, whereas he's facing the back.
Of the longitude, I knew nothing, and no island or coastline was in sight.
Just giant Cthulhu monster. Thing is, I'm not sure if there's enough like movement in the game
Weather
for there to
kept
be
fair,
Cthulhu.
And for uncounted days, I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun.
This
waiting
might
to
actually be a bit of a
feast
dud.
or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land.
Well, let's take a look. 2,
But neither ship nor
3.
land appeared, and I
Oh, it's a very short
stared
story.
in my solitude upon the heaving
Well, I
vastness of the
guess we won't be here very long.
The change happened whilst I slept.
Oh,
Its
Okay.
details I shall never know. For my slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was continuous.
oh. Hi.
Hello, you
That's
Cthulhu.
it is a Cthulhu, but like there seems like there's multiple. Feels like there's like a couple over there as well. I thought Cthulhu was just one giant squid. I didn't think it was like multiple giant squids. Also, are they like stuck out of the water? Is there like no water? I don't even know if that is Cthulhu or if it's
Last
just.
I awoke, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended
It seems
about
too
me in
small.
monotonous undulations as far as I could see, and in which my
Undulations.
boat lay grounded some distance away.
I'll undulate on you in a second. Wait, what?
Ew.
I don't even know what undulation means.
At so prodigious
Just sounded dirty.
transformation of scenery, I was in reality more horrified than astonished.
I mean, they're not doing anything to you. They seem like they're having a pretty good time though in the mud.
There was in the air and in the rotting soil a sinister quality which chilled me to the very core. The region was putrid with the carcasses of decaying fish and of other less.
Okay, yeah. See, that's not
I saw protruding from the nasty mud.
that's not Cthulhu. That's too small.
Well, I'm not very well versed in H.P. Lovecraft, but I know enough that I'm pretty sure Cthulhu, the being itself, is the mythical god monster under the sea. It
Yes.
commands the creatures of the sea.
Yes.
So it's usually a giant like squid octopus kind of thing.
Yeah. But giant. That's how big the boat is. I'm now standing up.
Perhaps
Well,
to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness.
That's like a moderate squid. No, it's not even a giant squid. It's a moderate
Well-
squid at best.
Dagon was written in 1917.
Save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the
It's one of his. I think it's.
landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear. The sun was
I think it's a story that introduces Cthulhu.
almost black in its cloudless
Aw.
cruelty, as though reflecting the
I mean, it's definitely a lot of like. See, that's just literally an octopus just laying upside down there. He's not even doing anything bad. He's just sitting there chilling.
Well, that's what H.P. Lovecraft is usually. It's the horror, of the terror and thrill of the unknown.
Okay. Okay, now that looks more like a Cthulhu over there. That's a lot bigger.
Through some unprecedented volcanic upheaval, a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths. So great was the extent of the new land which had risen beneath me that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean, straining my ears.
Hey, that's a trilobite.
Nor were there any seafowl.
Is it still alive?
Yeah, it is. It's moving. So it's a little bit of a shame that it's not. I'm not able to actually do a little bit of free motion at all.
For several hours I sat thinking or brooding, in the
Yeah.
which lay upon its side and afforded a slight shade as the sun moved across the heavens. As the day
Okay.
progressed, the ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for traveling purposes in a short time.
Oh, good. Can we actually walk? Aw. Look. It's one of those shells that does the thingy. I like the shell ones. They're cute.
Blech.
That night I slept but little, and the next day I made for myself a pack containing food and water, preparatory to an
where
overland
did you
journey in
get
search
that?
of the vanished sea and possible rescue.
Okay, but like, where did you get it?
On the third morning, I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with ease.
Okay.
The odor of the fish was maddening, but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set out boldly for an unknown goal.
Okay.
All day I forged steadily with
Oh, that looks a lot less human,
which rose higher
or a
than
lot
any
less
other
like,
None of these were human.
you know what I mean? Like a lot less like normal. The others were all normal animals. That is not, right? There's no animals like that, right?
Maybe in the deep sea. You never know.
Well, I never want to know.
Sure.
Are you planning on throwing me into deep sea? Okay, that's a whale. That's fine.
Hello, giant legs.
that night.
Okay.
I camped, and on the following day
You're-
still traveled toward the
You're
hump.
camping in a field of gigantic tentacles.
Than when I had first espied it.
What is this? A Japanese hentai?
If it is, I'm tapping out.
Oh, but I need you here for this. Apparently not.
No.
By the fourth evening, I attained the base of the mound, which turned out to be much higher than it had appeared from a distance.
Okay, this is probably just going to be Cthulhu, right? Like those are going to be eyes, right?
An intervening valley setting it out in sharper relief from the general surface.
Quite a lot of light coming from over there, but
Too weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill.
okay.
I know not why my dreams were so wild that night.
Probably because you're sitting right next to Cthulhu.
There, the waning and fantastically gibbous moon had risen far above the eastern plain. I was awake in a cold perspiration, determined to sleep no more.
Okay.
Such visions as I had experienced were too much for me to endure again. And in the glow of the moon, I saw how unwise I had been to travel by day.
What?
Without the glare of the parching sun, my journey would have cost me less energy.
Oh no.
And you would die too traveling at
I
night.
now felt quite able
Yeah.
to perform the ascent which had deterred me at sunset.
Oh, come on.
Picking up my pack, I started for the
Why would you want to do that, man? Why would you want to do that?
Well, he's clearly delirious.
said that the unbroken monotony of
Yeah.
the plain was a source of vague horror to me.
Ah, yes. The fear of nothing.
My horror was greater when I gained the summit of the mound and looked down the other side into an immeasurable pit or canyon.
Okay.
Those black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine.
Oh. I mean, I literally can't look any further down,
I
so.
felt myself on the edge of the world, peering over the rim into a fathomless chaos of eternal night.
Okay. That's why, once again, you shouldn't be walking around at nighttime.
Through my terror ran curious reminiscences of Paradise Lost, and of Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realms of darkness. As the moon climbed higher in the sky, I began to see that the slopes of the valley were not quite so perpendicular.
No,
as I
they
imagined.
clearly aren't. There's like water down there or something.
Ledges and outcroppings of rock afforded fairly easy footholds for a descent.
Okay.
After a drop of only a few hundred feet, the declivity became very gradual.
Okay. This is a horror. This is a Lovecraft story. It's
Urged on by an impulse which I cannot definitely analyze, I scrambled with difficulty down the rocks and stood on the gentler slope beneath,
okay.
gazing into the Stygian deeps, where no light.
Why are you not traveling during the day anyway? I
All at
don't.
once, my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite slope, which rose steeply about 100 yards ahead of me.
This is
An
metric.
object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the ascending moon.
Okay.
Because this is a Lovecraft story. Everything takes place at
It was
night.
merely a gigantic piece
Of course it
crystal
does. I actually quite liked it when I was going through the day. I could see things and knew what they were, and they weren't scary
I
as
was
much.
conscious of a distinct impression that its contour and position were
At least it
not
does feel like there's not going to be any like
of nature.
jump scares in this game.
A closer scrutiny filled me with sensations I cannot express. For despite its enormous magnitude and its position in an abyss which had yawned at the bottom of the sea since the world was young, I perceived beyond a doubt that the strange object was a well-shaped monolith.
Okay.
Whose massive bulk had known the workmanship and perhaps the worship of living and thinking creatures.
Well, you don't have to worship. We could just walk away.
Yet not without a certain thrill of the scientist's or archaeologist's delight, I examined my surroundings more closely.
Once again, I do feel like this is something you should probably do at the daytime.
The moon, now near the
But then it wouldn't be a horror story.
vividly above the towering steeps that hemmed in the chasm.
Okay. That face is going to be a Cthulhu face, isn't it?
And revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both
How
directions,
deep is that?
and almost lapping my feet as I stood on the slope.
I don't think that far away. It actually is like a pretty size,
Across
like
the chasm,
small pool.
The wavelets washed the base
We could
of
probably
the
walk around it, you know.
monolith, on whose surface I could now trace both inscriptions and crude sculptures.
Okay.
The writing was in a system of hieroglyphics
Aww.
unknown to me, and unlike anything I'd ever seen in books.
Look at the hammerhead shark. There's a turtle and there's another shark. And a whale and jellyfish. Oh. Okay, whoever wrote this really loves his animals, his sea creatures. So fair.
Consisting for the most part of conventionalized aquatic symbols such as fishes, eels, octopi, crustaceans, mollusks, whales, and the like.
We focus on everything on the
Several
outside.
characters obviously represented marine things which are unknown to the modern world.
Okay. I mean, no, that's a lionfish. Like, there's definitely lionfish. And that's a
This story
squid.
takes place in 1917.
So, are you saying they didn't have that? They didn't know what lionfish were back then?
But whose decomposing forms I had observed on the ocean-risen plain.
Like, they're very impressive fish. If they were hiding from us, I'd be quite impressed.
However, that did most to hold me spellbound. Plainly visible across the intervening
Here we go. What's this?
out of their enormous size.
Lionfish, which are native to the Indo-Pacific, were first detected along Florida coast in the mid-1980s.
Oh.
Supposed to depict men,
So that's why they put those there.
a certain sort of men. Though the creatures were shown
Because they would have been unexposed.
fishes in the waters of some marine grotto, or paying homage at some monolithic shrine which appeared to be under the waves as well. Of their faces and forms I dare not speak in detail.
But I'm going to see them if you
Remembrance
move any further down.
faint, grotesque beyond the imagination of a Poe or a Bulwer.
I mean, yeah, no.
Nearly human in general outline, despite webbed hands and feet, shockingly wide and flabby lips, glassy, bulging eyes, and other features less pleasant to recall. Curiously enough, they seem to
Okay.
have been chiseled badly out of proportion with their scenic background. For one of the creatures was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented as but little larger than himself. I remarked, as I say, their grotesqueness and strange size, but in a moment decided that they were merely the imaginary gods of some primitive fishing or
Yeah, makes sense.
tribe. Some tribe whose last descendant had perished eras before the first ancestor of the Piltdown or Neanderthal man was born.
Okay.
Awestruck at this unexpected glimpse into a past beyond the
I'm gonna say this is not what I'm expecting it just to be a story of this.
musings, whilst the moon cast queer reflections on the silent channel before me. Then, suddenly,
What?
I saw it.
What? You saw what?
With only a slight churning to mark its rise to
What?
the surface,
What?
the thing slid into view above the dark waters.
Can we get it back? No, nope, nope, no, no.
Stupendous monstrous
Nope, 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 nope,
its gigantic scaly arms,
nope,
bowed its hideous head, and gave vent to certain
nope,
measured
nope, nope,
sounds.
nope, 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 nope.
I
Is that why you started morphine? Cause fair.
of my frantic ascent of the sloping cliff, and of my delirious journey back to the stranded boat.
Well, this means it would have taken you days again, right?
I believe I sang and laughed oddly when I was unable to sing.
Okay, but where's the next marker? Oh, it just hadn't appeared yet.
I have indistinct recollections of a great storm sometime after I reached the boat. At any
Okay.
rate, I know that I heard pearls of thunder and other tones which nature utters only in her wildest moments.
Oh, that's a fish. I should focus on the fish. Yep, that's a nice fish. Like the fish? I like the fish.
When I came out of the shadows, I was in the San Francisco
Oh.
hospital,
Okay.
brought thither by the captain of the American ship which had picked up my boat in mid-ocean. In my delirium, I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant attention. Of any
Okay.
upheaval in the Pacific, my rescuers knew nothing. Nor did I deem it necessary to insist upon a thing which I knew they could not believe.
I mean, do you believe it? That cross over there looks like it's got something written on it. Lovecraft considers himself an atheist and absolute materialist, which he attributed partly to his early childhood. Interested in astronomy and science in general, in his own words. I am indeed an absolute materialist, as is the actual belief of actual gods. With not a shred of credence in any form of supernaturalism, religion, spiritualism, transcendentalism, metapsychosis, or immortality. All I say is that I think it's damned unlikely that anything like the essential cosmic will, a spirit world, or even eternal survival of personality exists. They are the most preposterous and unjustified of all the guesses which can be made about the universe, and I am not enough of a hair splitter to pretend I don't disregard them as an errant and negligible moonshine. In theory, I'm agnostic, but pending the appearance of radical evidence, I must be classed practically and provisionally as an atheist.
Absolute lies. H.P. Lovecraft was heavily into the occult, and he was a spiritualist.
Then why
He
did
would perform seances in his house.
Doesn't mean he wasn't just trying to take advantage of the money.
Oh no, he believed.
Then why would he write a book like that?
Because back then, not believing in God just meant that you're an atheist.
Okay, that's what.
Believing
Weird.
in the occult meant you were a Satanist.
Once I sought out a celebrated ethnologist and amused him with peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
Okay. That is a fish. Yeah, but like... this is like a PowerPoint presentation.
But soon perceiving that he was hopelessly conventional,
At least you know how far I am from the finish.
Oh, you're pretty near.
Not sure it really makes the best game, quote unquote, but I can see how this would work as a VR experience. This one doesn't seem to... This particular element doesn't seem to do anything. Oh, there's another thing up there. Okay.
It is at night, especially when the moon is gibbous and waning, that I see the thing. I tried morphine,
Okay.
but the drug has given only transient surcease and has drawn me into its clutches as a hopeless. So now I am to end it all, having written a full account for the information or the contemptuous amusement of my fellow men.
Apparently, Lovecraft's early political opinions were conservative and traditionalist, and he held a number of racist views for many of his adult life. Following the Great Depression, he became a socialist, no longer believing in just aristocracy could make the world more fair.
Oh, he was straight up racist. H.P. Lovecraft, if I remember correctly, also died penniless.
Wow. Wow, okay.
I think.
I ask myself if it could not all have been a pure phantasm,
Kind of crazy, really.
a mere freak of fever.
When people don't
as I
get
lay
anything
sun-stricken
until...
and raving in the open
until they get any sort of
eyes
fame
of
until they
the
die.
man of war. This I ask myself, but ever does there come before me.
I guess if he was a racist, then it's probably not a bad thing he didn't get anything in life.
I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering at the nameless things that may at this very moment be crawling and floundering,
Okay, then why would you go out on your boat again, huh? Huh?
worshipping their ancient stone idols and carving their own detestable likenesses
Hello.
of submarine obelisks of water-soaked granite. I
Hello,
grieve
Cthulhu.
they rise above the billows to drag down into their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind. Of a day when the land shall sink and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst universal pandemonium.
Hey, battleships? Why are the
No,
battleships?
those are monsters. Those are
Oh.
monsters.
Oh, they're gonna attack New York. Well, I'm fine. Phew. Oh, that's okay then. Well, I don't know anyone lives in New York. I think we'll be fine.
The end is near. I hear a noise at the door, as of some immense slippery body rubbing against it.
Why would it care? I won't just leave us alone. We don't have to go that way, right?
Now I remember this story.
Mm.
Shall not find me.
You say that, but you're going right towards the door.
God, that hand!
Neat.
Window! The window!
The window's behind me. I can't look behind me. Oh no. Do I want to go out there? That looks like there's something out there. Can we just not? I just... Neat. I feel there's better ways of killing yourself if you don't want to go outside the window. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I remember this story now. It's been forever. I didn't read it. I attended a radio play that did Dagon
Ah.
a long time ago. It was my freshman year of college. I attended a radio play that did Dagon for H.P. Lovecraft. Halloween night.
Well, congratulations. Let's not do the DLC. I think that's the one we actually have access to. I think the other two weren't free. Yeah.
Which They're all DLCs.
Yes, yes, I realize, but the Eldritch box, I think, is the one that
The Eldritch
this one.
box.
Oh, apparently there's audiobooks, ebooks, and wallpapers. Oh, okay, well that's okay. I mean, you've got it too. You own it too, so I guess only one story is actually written properly, and the rest is audiobooks, which is a weird choice. I guess that's it. That's kind of anticlimactic, really.
It is. Yeah, H.P. Lovecraft is a little different in that his stories are more about the suspense and the
Mm,
terror,
mm.
and a lot less jump scares and all that stuff. He is considered the father of horror. Um, but his books are technically a bit of a hard read. I mean, you just listen to it. If you
Yeah.
saw that on paper, it's a hard read.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. uh,
Dagon is the very first story, if I remember correctly, that
mm,
introduces the Cthulhu mythos and quote unquote fictional religion.
mm-hmm.
Basically, it's a group of it's a really really old ancient world religion that worships these fish people
I mean,
that
yeah,
has
fair.
a god called Cthulhu.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
apparently the fish people are the heads of a fish and the bottom half are human.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
that's not nice.
And if I remember correctly, the Call of Cthulhu, which is the most famous Cthulhu story, is about this guy who sees Cthulhu and then he constantly hears it calling for him and it
Mm-hmm.
drives him mad. Like he hears it in his head, he sees it everywhere, and he just goes completely mad over the mythos.
Lovely, just lovely. I mean, makes sense
Hmm.
though. Also, just checking something here. Just how big of a bloody ripoff this thing's edition in the well, not as a ripoff. Like if you like this, you like it. It's great. But like how little it actually gave you for being part of that bundle, right? Above being free. The Eldritch box apparently is the only of the DLC that actually is not an actual storyline. It's just like the extra stuff that comes with it. Whereas Little Glass Bottle is another storyline, and apparently there's something called the Railway Horror, which isn't out yet. Which has another 10-minute story. No, this one's a
Hmm.
30-minute story. So an odd idea. Like they just were like, yeah, look at our free game. Odd one for a bundle.
I mean, it wasn't done bad,
No.
um, but I feel like for an H.P. Lovecraft story, there needed to be more.
Mm,
They clearly didn't really have a lot of budget, which is fine. It's a free game. I can't ask for a lot.
mm,
But H.P. Lovecraft thrives on the suspense and thrives
mm,
on the things that you see at the corner of your eye.
mm,
And not having that animation of not having that atmosphere
mm,
within the pictures
mm-hmm,
took a
mm-hmm,
lot out of it. Because I mean, if you just read it on your own, um, and if you read it on your own, there's a feeling of suspense there because you're imagining it yourself, and then you can
mm-hmm,
imagine it nice and dark. Is all the the corner of the eye, the way he writes it. When you
mm,
really absorb it as you read, it's really
mm.
about seeing these things out of the corner of your eye and not believing until you
Whereas
see it straight up.
without the actual movement and motion in the 3D world, it just was kind of unimpactful.
Yeah, see, you could do this like this game. You could do this, but the fact that it was stagnant pictures with little things moving,
Yeah,
and it being right there in front of your face,
yeah,
it took a lot about the suspense. Because
yeah.
a lot of it is him talking about not really being able to see these things,
Hmm.
and seeing these things, but not really, also not really seeing them,
I
because
also think
he's
having
recounting.
I think having a little bit more freedom of looking around might be important too, because then you could have had some movement and motion as the person was looking to the left, to the right, to the behind them. They could actually see things
Mm-hmm.
moving out of the way. Like it did feel like, even for me, as someone who doesn't really care for horror, that it was quite a. It wasn't bad once again, but it did seem quite a little bit less enticing than I thought, or less like engaging than I thought it would be, given that it was made for VR.
It's very hard to do HB. I'll admit that's why you don't see a lot of
Yeah.
direct adaptations of his stories
I'm also not
because
a big fan
yeah.
of Hewlett Packard either.
um
Sorry, I know you might. No, okay. No. I was gonna make a joke about how some people really love their HP laptops, but okay, fine.
I mean, I used to use HP computers a lot, and then I just stopped. But so there are stories out there that are based on HP Lovecraft's stories, but it's really hard to find something that is a direct adaptation because it's hard to do. All this suspense, like you have to do it right, which is why a lot of times when you see people performing HP Lovecraft, it's either a reading or it's a radio play,
Well,
which by the way is amazing. Like if you were a horror fan and you came to New York
I'm not.
City,
Yes,
I
yes.
would like throw my soul away to convince you to come in October so we can attend an H.P. Lovecraft radio play. It
But
is
definitely not.
stunning.
Okay,
My God, it is stunning. I had chills.
or we could not and go watch some Broadway instead.
Oh please! I can see Broadway anytime I want.
I can't. I'd be coming from across the world. Damn it.
Fine.
Whereas apparently we've got Lovecraft at home. Lovecraft we've got at home.
I mean, I got a whole book of his stories. H.P. Lovecraft, Great Tales of Horror.
Like I said, the last game I got it actually did scare me in the way it did it. And I actually didn't think it would scare me. That's why I did it alone. And now with this one, yeah.
See,
like,
even in the introduction in this book, it says that Dagon is one of Lovecraft's most forward-looking stories. Many of its features a landmass suddenly emerging from the depths of the ocean, a monster who may be one of an entire race of creatures dwelling on the underside of the world. The narrator's psychological devastation at the monster's mere existence foreshadows the call of Cthulhu and later stories where the supernatural has been replaced by the scientifically plausible.
Yeah. So he's basically just like this was just like the very first Marvel movie. There's a lot more to come.
It's basically a story of his trauma, but this game plays it so straightforward that it takes a lot out of the story itself.
It's a shame. Oh well, I think that's that for now. I don't think there's anything else we can really add to this. So I thank you for joining me. I feel like that was a bit of a letdown, all things considered, but oh well. I guess it's fine. It's better that than being scared shitless and wanting to be over every second of every moment of the bloody story. So thank you all for joining me, and Para, thank you for joining me too. This was a lot less than I was expecting, but that's okay. See you all next time. It's been my Mountain of Shame. Goodbye.